So like the globalist and member of the World Economic Forum, who are our unelected government at the moment around the world, especially in Europe and America, Australia, South Africa, and like that. Charles said that when they created the pandemic, I think it was in 2019 or 20, he said this, probably 2020, because that's when it was official, the pandemic. He said, we have a small window of opportunity to take advantage of, of what's going on in the pandemic. And for them, that small window was basically restructuring society, implementing new laws of surveillance and weaponizing the police against us, and so on and so forth. If you're watching this video, chances are you already know about all of that. But we also now have a small window of opportunity. We had this window of opportunity in 2019 with the Yellow Vest movements, and Macron came that close to being evacuated by a helicopter. It was that close. And then, of course, he massively weaponized the police against the people, and to the point where people were actually murdered by the police. And, of course, as the Yellow Vest spread around the world, it didn't get that big in most places, but the other place where it did get quite big was in Hong Kong. And of course, the following year, just to make sure that none of that continued, they released the pandemic on us, and then took advantage of their small window of opportunity, let's call it. So we have an opportunity now as well. I say we, I mean the people, especially those that are awake here. I mean, the good thing is before I'm going to call it the pandemic, okay, even though we know what it really was. Before the pandemic was upon us, there were very few people. I say very few. There were a lot less people that understood what was going on, that knew what was going on. And fortunately, thank God, they released this pandemic. Unfortunately, God bless all those souls that perished from the medical intervention that happened after that. But on the plus side, a lot of people woke up. They had a lot of time to sit at home and do research and find out exactly what kind of world, what kind of planet we live on. And this is what I wanted to say. So when you look into it, you understand that any and every form of government on this planet is illegal, right? If it's a republic, it's illegal. That's just a given. That's we weren't born on this planet to pay tax. So we have an opportunity now to restructure our governments, to restructure the European Union, and it has to be from the ground up, not from the top down, by bureaucrats, by self-elected, whatever they are. I don't even know what the World Economic Forum are. They're just a bunch of rich people that are being funded by someone to basically infiltrate and take over all the world's governments and implement some kind of new world order, dark new world order upon us. So all of these people need to be removed. They can be tried later on. We will need to set up a whole new justice system. We will need to set up a new monetary system. We will need to restructure education. Education will need to be for the betterment and for the progression of the human spirit, of the human soul, of spirituality, basically. Any and all institutions need to be either removed or completely restructured. Royal families, their wealth needs to be redistributed amongst the people, especially the really poor off. They can still exist as a royal family, but it can be like a tourist attraction or something like that. Medical institutions need to be completely dismantled and rebuilt with actual holistic natural treatments where they actually get their drugs from, where they produce their drugs from plants and stuff. And of course, if it's going to be operations and things like that, medical interventions, then that can be. But the way doctors practice today and the way medical companies, pharmaceutical companies, basically run the government, really, every and all institutions need to be restructured. From religious, people can still be free to practice a religion, but they will not hold any power over forcing people to be of a certain religion, or all of their wealth needs to be redistributed amongst the people as well. The whole planet needs to be restructured. And in terms of governments, there are people on the planet that can help us restructure our systems to how it was before the Romans came to Europe, and then let's call them the Romans as well before they went to the Americas, because the Americas had huge cities of millions of people living there that they'd lived without a form of government, and lived holistically with the land. So all this needs to be done. We need to make sure that no one ever modifies our weather for personal gain, for warfare, for any kind of agenda. Any form of child grooming and pedophilia needs to be completely outlawed, and those that are practicing that and implementing those laws now with fake genders and all these terrible books that we see in the American school curriculum, these people need to be again put. We need to have a natural law courts, not set up by the people and for the people. Everything needs to be transparent. Where money is going. If people choose to live in cities, they will need to contribute something, but it will be transparent, and it's very easy to. I mean, I see electric bills, gas bills, water bills skyrocketing. It's very easy to create gas biodigesters for blocks of apartments for free gas for everyone. This is very easy. Never again do we have corporations that earn billions from things like services like electricity, water, gas like this, road tax. Any form of tax needs to be abolished. If you still think that your tax that you pay to the government goes to fixing roads, then I'm afraid you're sorely mistaken. That's not what it is. They earn billions from their nefarious deeds and their nefarious investments, and your little bit of tax money is probably just going to pay for their holiday. And it doesn't matter. Tax needs to be abolished. Tax is illegal. Basically, any and all forms of government on this planet are illegal. This is a maritime law that we live under, which is not our law. It's hard to understand this in the beginning, but when you look into it, you'll understand that is what happens. So we have this opportunity. If the farmers and the people don't succeed in restructuring our society, our world, our planets, our let's call it our government, all that will happen is that their laws will tighten again like they did. It's taken 5 years since the Yellow Vests. It's taken 5 years for people to stand up for themselves again. In 5 years' time from now, the world is going to be a very different place, as it is a different place from 5 years ago. So if we leave it again, they will implement more laws, more restrictions. The thought police will come in. Anything that you say and anything, and that's if you haven't been sucked into some weird digital hell with these goggles on your face and you're living in another universe and you don't really care what's happening in the planet. So there will be those people, and not everybody will wake up. There's a huge majority of people on this planet which we call followers, whether you want to call them NPCs or backdrop people, whatever you want to call them. They're the people that'll follow. They followed Adolf Hitler. They followed Gandhi. They are the followers. These people right now, if anyone hasn't woken up at this stage, then that's just what it is. But there's enough of us that are awake to make a difference. And, this has to be the rock that we stand on and the rock that we die on. I mean, the farmers now, if they give up, farming is over. So they know if they give up that their livelihood is over. And it should be the same thing for us. I speak to a lot of people and they say, well, I've got kids, I've got family, I've got to pay my bills, what can I do? If we don't stand up, now your kids are going to be living in a totally different world. And when they look back, if they manage to find the information on what the planet was like back then, and they say, Daddy, what did you do back then? Well, I had to feed you, son. Whatever the case may be. But so this is our opportunity. This is our time. Can we do it? We should do it. We have to do it. Can we do it? Do we have the time? Do we want to go to the pub? Do we want to go on holiday? I mean, for a 2-bedroom house to pay 610 euros electricity here in Portugal in January, what's it going to be like in a few years' time? And then if I make a video like this and they see that video and they cut my electric off from their smart meters, they cut my bank off from their smart meters. These are all things we know. I don't have to give you scenarios. So we have to support the farmers, but we also have to physically go there and support them, or at least bring them food, because what will happen is they will just go, okay, the farmers can block everywhere, then you can't go on holiday and you're going to be pissed off. Then the shelves will be empty, then you're going to starve, and look, it's all the farmers' fault. So they are professional at dividing us. That is what they've been doing for thousands of years. They've divided us. you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Jew, you're black, you're white, you're non-vaccinated, you this, you that. They are fantastic at dividing us. It's their speciality, because they know as soon as we stand together, they start cocking themselves. So this is it, folks. If we don't do it this time, 5 years time from now is going to be a totally different place. Alrighty, can we do this? I think we got this.